Hi, and welcome to Yoga Jadra, or if you've been here before, welcome back. Thanks so much for taking the time to practice a little yoga with me here today. If you are enjoying these practices, please like and subscribe below. Your support is really what helps keep these classes coming and the project going. We've got about a half-hour flow today, so go ahead and grab your mat. We are about to begin. Head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Bringing awareness to the present moment and space and time. The physical room that you are in. Without opening the eyes, just remembering, noticing where the walls are, where the ceiling is, the floor is, in comparison to your body. Noticing if there's any furniture in the room. Checking in with the sounds of your space. Checking in with the temperature of your space. Checking in with the smell of your space, the air as it passes through the nostrils. And then checking in with your internal space, so the body, the physical body that you are living in right now. Through the face, through the neck and shoulders, down the back, to the hips, to the feet. What does it feel like to be in this shape right here, right now? In this physical body? And just as with the room, where you were noticing things but not, well, hopefully not judging them, not assigning a good or a bad. Notice the body in the same way, just noticing what's there without assigning a good or a bad. And then we'll come together with the sound of Om, the common energy, the common vibration among all living things. 3 times. Slow breath in. Go ahead and stand right on up to get warm. And do a shaking, like a shaking meditation. I'm going to shake my right arm, and shake my left arm, and shake my right foot, and shake my left foot, and then give everything a shake, and maybe get it into the shoulders, maybe get into the knees, into the hips a little bit. You could bring it forward if you like, and over to one side, and the other side. If you're in a cold space, this might feel good to get warm. If you're in a warm space, it'll feel good to get the blood flowing. Let's reach the arms up overhead. Take the left wrist with your right and reach it across the room. Let the hips go to the opposite side. And we'll switch. So take the right wrist with your left hand and reach it across the room. fingertips come high. And let's do wrist circles all the way down on the exhale. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Push them back and down, and let's smooth it out. 3 big circles. Ooh, I'm getting some cracks. And in the other direction, forward, down and back, 3 big circles. And let them hang. And let's step onto the left foot and swing the right leg. And switch, stepping over onto the right leg and swing the left leg. And let that go. And we'll come to the front of the mat and let's do some, I'm not sure if they have an official title, but I've been sort of calling it a half sun salutation, or Surya Namaskar. We're going to inhale up over the head, heart comes high, hips come forward. Exhale, releases down and hang. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Don't pull any muscles, especially if you're in a cold space. It's getting to be winter. Take care of the warming up aspect of the physical movement. And then we're going to lift halfway, our Uttanasana. So you're going to come to your shins, your thighs, and then release back down. And we'll come all the way, return up to high arch, down to heart center. And then we'll just repeat a couple times. Inhale, high lift, high arch, exhale, release over, caring for the back. Halfway lift, release down, your feet are planted about a couple inches apart. Inhale comes all the way up, down to heart center. One more time. High arch, release it over. Hopefully you're starting to feel the blood warming up the body. Halfway lift, release over, all the way up to high arch, down to heart center. Steady heart, steady breath. Let's weave the fingers together behind the back. Bring them over to the right hip and let the head fall to the left. Nose can find its direction, whatever feels really appropriate and perfect for the neck this morning, this alien stretch. Or today, whatever time of day it is for you. The center, head comes tall, and switch sides. Fingers over to the left, let the head fall to the right. Find your stretch. Bring it back up to the center. Fingers release and relax. Let's take hands at the hips or at the heart or out to the side if that feels more balanced for you. Tuck the tailbone under just ever so slightly to lengthen tall through the back. Lift up the right foot and let's do ankle circle, 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 one leg, the other direction. 2, 3, hold here, keep the spine tall. Press the right foot back into your warrior 3. Hands can stay at the hips if you like, even them out to point to the floor, or maybe come to the heart center, or if you're feeling really strong, you can reach them long out in front. Let's bend the left leg once, and return back up. Again, twice, return back up. Last one, down, return back up. Let's rotate into our half moon. So left hand comes down, right hand comes up. If you need that left hand on a block, go for it, no problem. Really beneficial to practice your pose and master that before moving on to the next step. Ardha Chandrasana. And we'll reach the right fingertips and the right foot all the way back. Woo! With some balance. And land in a second warrior. Then we're going to fly the warrior up and down. So we'll lift up with the arms, lengthen the left leg, and then return back down to second warrior. Once more, coming up and down. Last one, up and down. Let's windmill the arm to a low lunge. I'm going to rotate the back foot, lower down the right knee, sink in the hips, lift the heart. Feeling strong, maybe lengthen the back toe and come up a little higher. Enjoying the breath and the moment without any desire or need to change anything, just noticing what is. Releasing back down. Let's find plank. One long line from heels to the top of the head. Hold here. Fingers pointing to the front of the mat, engaged with the abdominal muscles. You can stay in plank, or we're going to go up and down with the knees 5 times. So lower down the knees and back up. Again, 2, back up. 3 more, and up. 2 more, and up. Last one, return to plank. Lower all the way down or go through chaturanga. Up to cobra or upward facing dog. And press back into the down dog. Hang out for a moment here, enjoying this inversion, letting the heart take a break. Maybe finding a little movement through the backs of the legs. Looking at the space between the hands, we're going to walk or hop if you like into your fold. Bend the knees again as much as you like. Okay, with the big toes touching, if you need a little more stability, you can bring the toes apart. But we're going to go up into chair, Utkatasana, so big toes touching. We're going to sit back and lengthen the arms long. Knees are going right over the toes, and I'm actually actively thinking about tucking my tailbone ever so slightly to engage the abdominal muscles and the back muscles. Bring the palms together. Left hand to the right knee. Twist to look up over the right shoulder. One more breath here. And release and hang. Let the head be heavy. Shake it no, not a yes. Legs are again long, or wherever they were, gently bent. And tuck the tailbone, we'll roll all the way back up, little high arch. And through heart center, steady heart, steady breath. Check in with the whole being. Second side, so wherever you were with your hands for your balance. And I'm going to lift the left leg. Ankle circle, 1, 2, 3, reverse direction, 2, 3. Press the left leg back. Hip square to the earth. Palms can come to the heart or extend all the way if you like. Bend the right knee and return. Again and return. One more time and tall. Right hand down, left hand up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. It's like you're splat like a pancake against the wall behind you. One more breath here. Left fingertips, left toes, reach back. And we land in warrior 2. Bring it up, extend the right leg, and return back down, warrior 2. Again, up, and return. Again, up, and return. Swing the arms around. Low lunge, so now the left hip is returned to square with the front. If you did so on the first side, lengthen the back toe and come up. Back down, we'll find plank, one long line. You can do a full push-up, or you can bring the knees down and do a modified version with me. We're gonna do 5. So we're gonna go down and back up. Again, down, up, 3 more, up, 2 more, return, 1 more. Come back up. Knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Lift the heart. Nothing too crazy. Tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Again, check in. Finding your space. Looking at the space between the hands, walk or glide into your Uttanasana, your forward fold hanging over. Bend the knees even deeper. Bring the big toes to touch if they did so on the first side and come up into Utkatasana, chair pose. Can you check and lift the toes? Just see how it feels to do that. And bring the palms to heart center. Right elbow to the left thigh and lift to look over the left shoulder. Big twist. Return to center and go ahead and fold into Uttanasana one more time. Hanging, relax the neck, the shoulders. Tuck the tailbone and we'll come vertebrae by vertebrae up to stand. Let's actually clasp the hands behind the back. Find a stable spot with the feet. And I'm going to bring the shoulder blades close together behind the back. Maybe even thinking about the elbows touching. So instead of pressing anything forward, up, and back like a high arch, we're really opening across the front of the body. More breath here. And release. Let's come to a Malasana pose, toes out, heels in, and we'll lower down into squat. Elbows inside, lengthen through the spine, totally fine if your heels are off the floor. Hanging out here, or finding your crow pose, Kakasana pose. We're going to have the middle fingers, the fingers pointing to the front of the mat, lower legs, connect to the upper arms, and gently tap, tap, tap up off the earth and balance here, hold here, hold here, hold here. Maybe press through the spine. And float back down, take a break in Malasana. Again, same thing. Stay where you are if you like. If that's your practice today, no worries. If you just want to sort of rock back and forth, that's great too. You're really getting some strength in the arms by just shifting your weight forward. And if you're flying, go ahead up into your pose. Wherever you are, we're just going to take a couple more breaths and then jump back into plank. So even if you're in Malasana, if you're just sort of halfway, or if you're all the way up in the crow, here we go. Ready? And find your way back. Plank pose. Hold here for a breath. Tipping over to the right side, I'm going to bring my right hand to the center of the mat, up into Vashisthasana. Hold here. If you're feeling strong, maybe bring the left toe up. Maybe grab left knee with the left hand. One more breath. Switch to the second side. Tipping over. Extending. Perfect pose. You can just stay right here. You bring the right up. Or you could actually grab it with your knee. Grab the knee with your hand. One more breath. And release to the center. Let's lower the knees. Sit back in the heels. Rest the head on the earth, child's pose. let everything go in child's pose. And if they're not already, go ahead and extend the arms. And we'll slide forward onto the belly. Lengthen the toes. Bring the hands kind of in front, like almost to the front corners of the mat if you're towards the front of the mat. And we're going to wave up and down. So I'm going to, actually I might even be on my fingertips. I'm going to wave up, open the belly, and release back down a couple more times. Like the ocean is in your back. And every time we come up and down, it's a wave, throat flowing through. And next time, let's release down to the earth. Rest one hand on top of the other. And then the head. Bend at the knees, and we'll windshield wiper side to side. Release the legs. Palms come underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. Find your way into the dog. Through a vinyasa, or take your child for a rest, or just hang out in dog pose. And here we go, 3 breaths wherever you are. Plank, down, and up for that vinyasa, and pressing back. Everyone meet in the downward facing dog. And then let's look at the space between the hands. You can walk, you can glide, you can sit down and roll over, but we're going to come to a seated pose. So bringing your feet through to the front of the mat. And let's sit in staff for just a moment. And I'm going to take my right foot with my right hand, bring it out to the side, front and back. Finding some movement in the hip, and then drop the foot across the left thigh. And that might feel already like a nice little bit in your outer thigh, or you can bend the left knee and deepen into a seated oh boy, I lost the name of the pose. Oh, seated pigeon pose. Here we go. So holding here for a moment. Down, and we'll switch. So starting with that hip movement, grabbing the outside of the left foot, forward and back, side to side. And then drop the left foot across the left thigh, and you check in what feels good here. Here, bend a little, bend a lot. Wherever you are, trying to lengthen tall through the spine, top of the head reaching up. Tailbone rooted down into the earth. And let's go ahead and release that side. And we'll roll down to supine, so you're laying on the earth. So we'll go vertebrae by vertebrae. Use your abdominal muscles, nice and slow. And then let's bring the knees right on in for a hug, massaging the lower back on the mat. And we'll drop that lower body, the knees over to the left, upper body to the right, supine twist. Switch, we'll drop the lower body, the knees to the right, and the upper body to the left. And then whatever you need to grab or do to prepare for a short shavasana, so not too long, but if you're in a really cold space, you might want to put on a blanket or socks. And we're going to release into the earth. We're going to let the toes fall open to the sides, the arms will go long by the side. Try to keep the spine straight, so the nose pointing up towards the ceiling. And let everything find ease here in this moment, in this space. You are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you are meant to be doing right here, right now. So staying in your shavasana pose, let's say at least 3 slow breaths. Ready, you can start to wiggle in the fingers and toes, start to stretch in opposite directions. And use your abdominal muscles, maybe giving your body a little hug, and find your way back up to sit for our final couple of breaths here. Rechecking what it feels like to be in this space, this same room that you were in when we started today. And what it feels like to be in this physical body. No judgment, just is. And we'll close with the words for peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.